You can use the Active Applet Maker to create some very powerful animations associated with your Jmols. Let's return to the example of tetracycline, which you'll recall is a compound that's used in acne treatments. We discussed the acidity of many protons in this molecule in an earlier webcast, but a very powerful way to show this acidity would be to demonstrate some of the resonance structures by drawing curved arrows for some of these deprotonations. Take, for instance, the enol functional group located at the top of the molecule. What we can see is that deprotonation, or removal of this proton, leads to a resonance stabilized anion at the top of the molecule here. This suggests that that proton should be fairly acidic. Let's see if we can show this using curved arrows in Jmol. You can draw curved arrows in Jmol using the Objects Draw panel. It's a good idea, if you plan to use this or any other procedure for an active applet, to first open and clear the history before beginning your work. This way you'll be able to see the commands that were executed when you performed various actions using the interface. Be sure as well, when you draw objects in Jmol, to assign a unique ID number to each object. Otherwise you'll overwrite an older object whenever you try to draw something new. Let's draw some curved arrows to illustrate the delocalization of charge that takes place when this enol proton is removed. These arrows make it fairly clear that there's a very large delocalization of charge that takes place when that enol is deprotonated. To save this as an active applet, all we need to do is copy the commands that were output to the history and paste them into a new button. Now, even if we turn drawn objects off, we can recover those curved arrows by hitting the curved arrows button. We can take this idea one step farther and imagine displaying the arrows sequentially with a delay between the commands. This is the key to animating in Jmol, to place a delay of a few milliseconds between commands to give the illusion of motion. In our case, we'd like to place delays between the drawing of the first and second and third arrows. So what we need to do is insert delay commands between these points in our code. In the code, you'll notice an end if statement. This marks the end of the first arrow drawing. Here we can type delay 0.5, where that 0.5 is the time in seconds of the delay. Scrolling down further, we can find the separation between the second and third arrow drawings at the second end if. Here again, we can type delay 0.5 and then click bind, and now if we clear arrows and then hit the curved arrows button, you'll notice that the arrows appear one by one sequentially. This gives a nice electron flow effect, as if the arrows were being drawn on paper. In the early going, don't get too bogged down by the code associated with these commands. Instead, think about how you can use animation to enhance and benefit your Molmadak page. There are a variety of ways to use animation. One of the most interesting ways is to use the move to command, which remember you can find in the structure view information show orientation box here. That will move around the various parts of a Jmol model automatically. If you place a delay between move to commands, you can move to multiple parts of a model within one button click, giving the user a nice view of two portions of a molecule with a single click of a button.